New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Calm prevails across India's border states and along the line of control. No drone activity or violation reported. Security forces remain on high alert. Russian president proposes holding direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on Thursday. Says Ukraine talks should aim to eliminate root causes of the conflict. The United States and Iran will hold another round of nuclear talks on Sunday in Oman ahead of President Trump's visit to the Gulf nations. US and China end first-day trade talks in Geneva. Trump hails talks as a total reset in trade ties. Second day of closed-door discussions continue today. The situation along the border areas of India remain normal today, a day after agreement of understanding was reached between India and Pakistan. In Jammu and Kashmir, no drones, firing or shelling activity was reported during the intervening night of May 10th and 11th. Calm prevailed on the borders of the Union territory, especially along the line of control in Poonch and Rajouri. As normalcy returns to Jammu, Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board has pitched in to help the devotees. The board has arranged free accommodation facilities for devotees in Katra. The Shrine Board administration is providing free lodging for pilgrims at Ashirwad Bhavan, Katra, with a capacity of 550 beds. Ankush Sharma is joining us from Jammu. Ankush, good morning. What is it that you're witnessing on the ground? We tell our viewers that the situation was calm the previous night. How has the day begun? Get us an account of the previous night as well.
See, the day begins with peace and stability, and this morning is very different from last 3 days, and now the peace has been restored in Jammu and Kashmir, and people are now opening their shops, and there is no panic right now among people in Jammu and Kashmir. The individuals who left their homes and moved to the safe places took shelter in their relatives or in camps. They are now also planning to go back to their residence, and now the situation is totally under the control. But yes, there is fake news around the city, around the Jammu and Kashmir, and there are some misinformations about terrorist activities in the central point of the city in Jammu. So once the police confirmed the reports, and after that police clarified about the fake information, and the administration is repeatedly asking people to not to trust in the rumors. And now we have spoke with people in Jammu city also. They have expressed their deep happiness towards this decision which government took yesterday, and the ceasefire agreement between Pakistan and India. And now the nation knows that if Pakistan again attempt to target India or do any misadventure with India, then what results it will happen. So now in Jammu, the situation is totally normal, and people are again, yes.
All right, Ankush, you tell us that the situation in Jammu has improved, it is normal. But have there any new instructions been given by the administration there to the people with regard to safety and security measures? What more can you add to that?
See, the security is still tightened across the Jammu and Kashmir, and there are still precautionary measures, but not fresh instructions given by the administration. Because, as I said, there are false information from yesterday, so that administration is also taking its time, and Pakistan is circulating false information in India as well through social media, and there are reports of some fake accounts on X and Facebook, which is circulating the fake information which targets the Jammu and Kashmir individuals. So that is why the administration is taking some time. But yes, people are now aware about it, that there will be no blackout, there will be no need of panic. But now the individuals of Jammu and Kashmir are really welcoming this step, and they salute our security forces. They express their thoughts towards our security forces, and they have said that India has really very strong defense system, and we are stood with our security forces.
All right, Ankush, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details from Jammu. And life is slowly returning back to normal in Kashmir as well. The areas around Dal Lake and markets have started to open at Lal Chowk. DD India's correspondent Vishal Baristo reports from Srinagar.
This is Sunday morning and I'm here at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. Life is slowly coming back to normal. There has been a peaceful last night and no aggression from the other side of the border. As you can see, today is Sunday, people have come out to shop. This is Sunday Bazaar. Let's talk to some of the people here, some of the localites of Srinagar, and find out how do they feel. I have a shop owner. कैसे रही आपकी रात और कैसा लग रहा है कि जिंदगी अब नॉर्मल हो रही है?
जंग तो एक तबाही है, जंग से कोई मकसद नहीं निकलता है. जो ऐसे भाईचारा है, हमें पार से भी यहाँ से वही हमें रखना है. आपस में ये जंग वंग नहीं होना चाहिए. कल से सारा माहौल ठीक हो गया. इन्होंने बातचीत आपस में की तो वही ठीक हुआ. जंग सही चीज़ नहीं है.
So he said that he is feeling better now. Let's talk to some more people. कैसा लग रहा है? आप चीज़ें पहले से बेहतर हुई है? ठीक लग रहा है आपको? कहाँ से आप?
पंजाब से.
पंजाब से. क्या करते हैं?
इधर सोफे का काम करते हैं.
ओके. तो कल रात चैन से सोए आप?
हाँ जी, ठीक है, मगर थोड़ा बहुत हल्ला होता है.
अभी ठीक है?
अभी ठीक है, बढ़िया.
So there you heard from the locals, from the people who are working here. They are from a different state. But as you can see, life is slowly coming back to normal, and slowly the markets would be opening. It has already started and people can heave a sigh of relief. With cameraman Mohit Uike from Lal Chowk in Srinagar, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
The overall security situation across India's western border states remains stable through the night of May 10th and 11th, with no reported incidents of fire, enemy contact or hostile movement. In Punjab, several districts including Firozpur and Pathankot have returned back to normal, while red alert continues in Amritsar district, with the Deputy Commissioner urging residents to remain indoors and avoid windows. Also, while power supply has been restored for public convenience, in Rajasthan, no hostile movement or airspace violations were detected overnight. The state security establishment remains on alert. Gujarat also reported a normal situation across Rann of Kutch, coastal areas and airspace. State headquarters and district administration conducted a review meeting to assess and reinforce preparedness. So, situation has changed on the border areas of India in Jammu and Kashmir, in Gujarat and Punjab, even though the situation remains a little tense, but there is no incident of Pakistan's escalation against India reported from Jammu and Kashmir or Gujarat or for that matter Punjab. So, in our reports also, our reporters have been telling us that the situation has got better, and also how people are expecting life to turn to normalcy soon. Our correspondent from Jammu told us that no fresh instructions though have been issued by the state administration, but a close vigil continues. Our correspondent Amrit Pal Singh joins us from Kartarpur. Amrit, we've told our viewers about the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. You're there in Punjab. Tell us, how has the day begun today? What is the current situation? We tell our viewers that the situation has improved somewhat at the border areas in Jammu and Kashmir. You tell us, you take the stock of the situation in Punjab for us.
Quite tense, uneasy calm. That's the situation on all along the border where I am. Even in other parts of Punjab, there is a 532-kilometer long border that the state shares with Pakistan. The border districts, there is no let up either in vigilance by the border security forces. That includes the BSF, which guards the international border, as well as the army, which has done its deployment along the border and in the depth. There are important military bases in Punjab, different corps of the Indian Army, important air bases of the Indian Air Force, high value installations being guarded in case they are attacked, because during the past 4 days the military installations were attacked by drones. Though there is no violation of the Indian airspace after 5 p.m. I'm talking in Punjab. In J&K, of course, there was a brief violation of the agreement reached between the two DGMOs. So there is a red alert. The district administration, civil administration is taking no chances, asking people to be safe, try and stay away from tall buildings. In case any untoward incident happens, do not be near the windows, balconies, etc. Blackout was imposed last night in different different districts of Punjab. Amritsar was in complete darkness all night. So that's the situation. They're waiting and watching how the night progresses, because most of the attacks were happening in the night. So tonight's night will be crucial. If all goes quiet like last night, there may be a little relaxation. Though life seems to be limping back to normalcy with markets opening, shops opening, but people still are a little apprehensive and skeptical about whether Pakistan will keep its promise and stay true to what it agreed in the agreement between the two DGMOs after their DGMO called our DGMO last afternoon. So it's been, as I said, it's an uneasy calm that prevails here. Pretty.
All right, Amrit, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those updates from Kartarpur. Earlier on Saturday evening, India and Pakistan agreed on an understanding on stoppage of all firing and military action. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said the Director General of Military Operations of Pakistan called the Indian counterpart at 15:35 hours IST on Saturday. It was agreed between them that both sides would stop all firing and military action on land and in the air and sea with effect from 1700 hours Indian Standard Time on Saturday. Instructions were given on both sides to give effect to the understanding. The Director Generals of Military Operations will talk again on 12th of May at 1200 hours. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. Stay with us.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium, we'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Russian President Vladimir Putin is calling for direct peace talks with Ukraine, proposing a high-stakes summit in Istanbul on May 15th. The announcement marks the most serious signal of diplomacy since talks broke down more than 2 years ago. But with deep mistrust on both sides and a fresh push from European leaders for an immediate ceasefire, the question remains, will this be a genuine step towards peace? Here's a report.
Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday proposed holding direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15. The Kremlin's surprise offers signals what could be the most serious push for diplomacy since negotiations collapsed over 2 years ago.
Let me remind you, it was not us who walked away from talks in 2022. It was Ukraine. Still, despite everything, we are ready to resume direct negotiations without any preconditions.
Putin said the goal is not just a temporary ceasefire, but a lasting peace, one that, in his words, addresses the root causes of the conflict. He plans to speak with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to finalize details for the Istanbul summit. This bold proposal comes just hours after European leaders, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron, visited Kiev, urging Moscow to accept an immediate 30-day unconditional ceasefire. But the Russian president pushed back, accusing Ukraine of ignoring 3 recent ceasefire proposals, a month-long halt to attacks on energy infrastructure, an Easter truce and a symbolic pause during World War II commemorations. Ukraine in turn has consistently denied those claims, asserting that Russian strikes continued despite Moscow's public declarations of restraint. Moscow has similarly alleged violations by Kiev. With both sides trading blame and accusations, the stage is now set for a critical showdown, diplomacy versus distrust. May 15th could mark a critical moment for Eastern Europe, a chance for peace or yet another missed opportunity. Bureau Report, DD India.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said on Sunday that he will continue to work with both sides to end the conflict in Ukraine. Trump in a social media post said, and I quote him, "A potentially great day for Ukraine and Russia." Trump's statement came after Russia's President Putin's proposal for direct talks with Kyiv. Trump also said that he will continue to work with both sides to make sure that it happens. US President Donald Trump hailed talks with China in Switzerland on Saturday, saying the two sides had negotiated a total reset in a friendly but constructive manner, though he did not elaborate on the progress. Earlier, top US and Chinese officials wrapped up the first day of talks in Geneva, aimed at diffusing a trade war that threatens to hammer the global economy, and planned to resume negotiations on Sunday. Neither sides made any statements afterwards about the substance of the discussions or signaled any specific progress towards reducing crushing tariffs at the meetings at the residence of Switzerland's ambassador to the UN. Iran will hold a 4th round of indirect nuclear talks with the United States on Sunday in Oman. The 4th round of negotiations, initially scheduled for May 3rd in Rome, was postponed due to logistical reasons. US President Donald Trump has threatened to bomb Iran if no agreement is reached with his administration to resolve the long-standing dispute. He withdrew the US from a 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers. Western countries say Iran's nuclear program, which Tehran accelerated after the US walkout from the new moribund 2015 accord, is geared towards producing weapons, whereas Iran insists it is purely for civilian purposes. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, plans to attend the talks in Oman. Witkoff, in an interview, said that Iranians had stated that they do not want a nuclear weapon, and the United States will take them at their word on this point. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said on Saturday that if the United States' goal is to deprive Iran of its nuclear rights, Tehran will never back down over those rights. Araghchi was speaking in Doha as he planned visit to Qatar and Saudi Arabia on Saturday, and was in line with the continuous consultations with neighboring countries to address their concerns and mutual interests about the nuclear issue. Iran has repeatedly said its right to enrich uranium is non-negotiable and has ruled out a zero enrichment demand by some US officials. Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran on Saturday urged Muslim nations not to forget about the plight of Palestinians in Gaza, which is facing possible famine after Israel imposed a months-long blockade on aid. Blaming the United States and Britain for the worsening of the crisis in Gaza, where Israel vowed to expand its military campaign against Hamas and broke a truce in March, Khamenei urged the whole world to stand against Israel. The US is backing a mechanism for getting aid into Gaza, which would be handled by private companies, while US President Donald Trump is planning to visit the Middle East next week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chaired a high-level meeting at his residence. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan, 3 service chiefs and Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri attended the meeting along with other top officials. For more details, we are joined in by our correspondent in a short while from now, but these are the visuals we're getting for you of the meeting which the Prime Minister chaired at his residence. And up on our screens, we can see the Prime Minister chairing this meeting. Remember, this comes at a time when Pakistan violated the understanding which was achieved yesterday to stop any military action on the border between India and Pakistan. However, we saw Pakistan violate this understanding yesterday. And here we see that Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level meeting at his residence today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan, 3 service chiefs and Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri attended this meeting along with other top officials. We have been getting continuous inputs from our reporters stationed in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, who talked of how the situation has somewhat got better at the border areas with no incident of Pakistan's escalation against India witnessed the previous night. There was no cross-border firing, there were no drones, and also there is a sense of calm in the border areas today. So this was the input that we've got from our reporters in Punjab, from our reporters in Jammu and Kashmir, and our reporter in Kashmir did also tell us that the situation has changed for good. Our correspondent Akshay Dongre is there with us. Akshay, on our screens we're showing the visuals of Prime Minister chairing the high-level meeting today. Get us more. What more can you add? This comes after Pakistan violated the understanding yesterday between the two sides.
Well, yes, exactly. The high-level meeting, as far as with the Prime Minister's directions are concerned, has taken place in New Delhi. Now, this is in to discuss every aspect of things that have transpired in the last 24 hours. Certainly, the activities of Pakistan is nothing short of betrayal, not only to India but to US as well, and the situation is being closely monitored. What happened last evening was in fact a backstabbing by Pakistan once again, true to its nature. However, India was prepared for this because we have had a lot of experience for a long time as far as Pakistan's treachery is concerned, and the way Pakistan deals with the situation when it comes to terrorism and these terror leaders who are being nurtured inside the country. So the appropriate steps that have to be taken as far as contingency is concerned are being taken. They are being measured. That what exactly is the next step that India is going to take, and for all that we can report that Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself is spearheading all of these activities as far as the borders are concerned, as well as internal security. Now, as far as this meeting goes, this meeting with the chiefs of armed forces is directly signaling at a renewed urgency.
All right, I think we've lost touch with Akshay there. We'll try getting back to him again to get more. He was telling us about the meeting which was chaired by Prime Minister today. And here up on screens, we're getting the visuals. Prime Minister chaired a high-level meeting at his residence. External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, along with Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan, 3 service chiefs, and Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri attended the meeting along with other top officials. Our correspondent Akshay Dongre was spelling out the significance of this meeting for us, and this is important because this comes after Pakistan failed to stick to the understanding or abide by the understanding that was decided on by the 2 DGMOs yesterday. We saw Pakistan violate the understanding yesterday between India and Pakistan that was achieved after the phone call between the DGMOs of both the countries. All right, so that's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.